Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Guitar Souls podcast. This is episode number 146, and I am one of your hosts, Mr. Levi Clay, and I am here with the Terminator himself, Mr. Mike McLaughlin. How's it going, bud?
Live with me if you want to come. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Fantastic.
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Yes, not too bad, not too bad.
Good.
I was just looking at our levels there and making sure you were coming through, and you definitely are, so that is good. Yeah,
I definitely am. Yes.
we're both tired, obviously. It's 10 o'clock in the morning on, what day are we on?
Saturday.
It's Saturday, yeah, it's Saturday.
Saturday the 19th.
So it's like 2 days earlier than we would normally end up recording.
Because I'm fucking working tomorrow and Monday.
Some would say that makes us a little bit more organised. A little bit more organised.
No, some would say that means that Mike hasn't fucked up again. Which is the truth.
To be honest, I probably would have preferred it if Mike fucked up, because I'm gigging tonight. We're sold out in Edinburgh, which is sweet. I'm looking forward to that. I've not played with the Crows before though, ever. So we also have a rehearsal. 3-hour rehearsal.
You'll be fine.
During the middle. Yeah, it'll be absolutely fine. Not concerned about it at all. In fact, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be great fun.
Aye. In all the time that you've been up here, I don't think I've ever seen you gig.
No,
Apart from, that's a lie. The one time I saw you play guitar on a stage was the first time you were here.
Sure.
And was it the Cleveland Club you were playing in?
It's,
the
Canby
Club.
Miners, yeah.
Canby Miners, that's
Yeah.
right.
I guess that does count. I said to Melissa I've not played live in 7 years. And that's almost 7 years, actually.
I don't want to say that counts, to be fair.
So, yeah, it doesn't. I don't think that counts. So yeah, it's just not how I use my time in music. But now I'm going back to it, and I'm super looking forward to it. It's going to be great fun. There is like a live streaming link for the gig for people that were unable to get tickets before they sold out. But I'm not going to even bother linking to that. We'll get loads of footage afterwards, and I'll share it with people if they want to see it. That'll be good fun. Point is, yeah, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. We've got to do this show, and then I've got to immediately trek over to Edinburgh. I'm fucking tired because I couldn't go to sleep last night. But such is life. We've got some stuff to talk about, which is nice. We're going to come back to the
Got some of this magical elixir. the stuff that I've been fucking stopping drinking for so long and somehow drinking again.
That's like me with cherry coke.
It's weird. Like, it's not. Do you find it's not like an addiction, but it's just a case of you end up with it?
I think
you buy it before you realise.
Anytime you say something's not an addiction, it probably is.
But I don't have like pangs of need for like energy drinks or that like desire.
It's a subconscious want, though. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, yeah. If we're looking deeper and it's like your body tells you need it, but you don't consciously realise that's what it's doing, then probably
not even the body telling you need it. Like, my body doesn't tell me I need cherry coke, but at any point, if somebody says, "Would you like a cherry coke?" I'm gonna go, "You know what? Yeah, I do. That'd be great. Thank you very much."
I'll be honest. I would rather go and get a coffee than get a Monster. But
sure.
The majority of places that do good coffee charge you more than it costs you to get a can of Monster, and it takes longer to get, which. It's a convenience and cost model, sadly.
I like that. Yeah.
Just being honest.
Yeah, I mean it's all bad, but life is short. Enjoy as much of it as you possibly can.
I'm already dying anyway. Fuck it.
Exactly. So that's a dark one.
Everything in moderation, especially moderation.
Exactly. I think in life. I went out for dinner with Lee and Paul last night, and
nice.
talking to Paul about art. Because they have art. We went to Oshi, and they have art on the walls in there that I really like.
Mm-hmm. Oshi's a beautiful restaurant in general, isn't it?
Yeah, and Paul was talking about a piece of art that he saw when he was, 20, that he wishes he bought. And I said to him that you should always, if you see a piece of art that you really like, you should just buy it. No matter what it takes, no matter how short it's going to leave you, you should buy it. Because I think it takes a lot for a piece of art to touch people, to resonate with you.
Yes.
And you will never, ever regret buying something that resonates with you, but you will absolutely regret not buying something that resonates with you.
I can think of one thing off the top of my head that I saw that I really wanted and didn't buy, and I regret to this day. It's not art. It's a piece of clothing. It was a silver, reflective silver, right? Like bomber style jacket, Adidas tracksuit top, and it was easily the most pimping bit of clothing I've ever seen. And I tried it on, I was like, this is fucking cool, but it's a bit wee, and didn't buy it, and I regret it to this day.
Yeah.
But no, you're right, I think with the art thing, big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Rather than being stupid, I'll give you a serious answer. Nancy and I went to the Kelvin Grove to have a wee nosy, and they had, is it Jesus Looking Down the Cross?
Maybe.
Fuck it, right at my head.
Did you have a come to Jesus moment, Mike?
No, it was the art that got me. Hold on a wee
Well,
second.
while you're thinking about that, I'm going to say to people that if
Go
you
for
see
it.
something in the world that you want to go out and buy, you should do it because you won't regret it. For example, did you know? This show is brought to you by our friends over at Ormsby Guitars. We want to remind you guys that there is still time to get involved in the upcoming Run 16 guitars. Those include these incredible hypes available in 5 new colours. That Dragon Burst is absolutely stunning. You can also get your hands on one of the Metal X's, again available in a range of finishes. My personal pick has to be these headless Vs, absolutely outrageously cool. Imagine one of those in an 8-string, I absolutely love these. And finally, the Ando San signature model, available in 6, 7 and 8-string availability. Go and check them out at Ormsby's website right now. This show is also brought to you by our friends over at Rev Amplification, a one-stop shop for all of your tonal needs. Head on over to their website to check out their range of lunchbox amplifiers, both the D20 and G20, 20-watt amplifiers with built-in 2-notes torpedo technology so you can record direct into your computer. If that doesn't suit, you can also check out one of their highly popular G2, 3 and 4 pedals, giving you that trademark rev tone in a stomp box. Incredible tones, I use these myself. And finally, you may notice in the back of these videos a Rev Generator 120, an absolute masterclass in modern electric guitar tones. Check it out at their site now. So as always, a huge thanks to our friends and family over at both Ormsby Guitars and Rev Amplification. They're awesome. Go and check them out. Go give them some love and support. Love and support, love and support. Yeah.
2 works of art to talk about, just to follow on for that last comment. So the first one is, now that I've quickly googled it, Salvador Dali, Christ of St. John of the Cross, which is the one where he's looking down the cross like this. It was the only piece of like real expensive, high-end, lower art I've ever seen. And we didn't necessarily go to the Kelvin Grove just to see that, but we'd heard that was on. It's like, well, we're going to have a nosy. Oh, that'll be quite cool.
Yeah.
And not being big fans of like high art and stuff, it's...
Or Jesus.
I'm not big on Jesus either, or Salvador Dali, to be fair. But there's cultural relevance and significance, and these are the kinds of things that if you don't expose yourself to them, then you're probably just going to miss out.
Yep.
You're not better going and seeing it in your person and deciding whether it is for you or not.
Yep.
And I have never seen a painting with more depth in the dark portions that were painted on it.
Yep.
So it's huge, like tall. It's obviously on the wall. It's lit perfectly, but everything round about it's dark. So it's all the focus is on the looking down the cross. Jesus pose. But honestly, Levi, it felt like looking into an abyss.
I've seen it. I didn't go to see it, but it was there when I last went to the museum.
It's not too dissimilar to, and this might sound a bit daft, but see the Disney artwork that you had?
Yeah.
Like the Ursula and stuff?
Yeah.
That same idea, that ability to paint.
High contrast.
Yeah, but not just that, to make the darks vivid.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know how else to describe it. Like, there's a real depth to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unbelievable. And the second one is, have you saw what Perry posted into the group recently?
No.
No? He's showing a wee update on all the custom shops. Do you want to quickly jump onto the page and I'll show you this one guitar that I swear to God I would kill someone
are other
for.
people allowed to see it?
Yeah, it's been posted publicly.
Okay. I've got to find the group now.
Sorry to put you on the spot with
Which
that one.
one is it?
The GTX series.
This one.
So Perry put up a post basically just saying, here's some photos of the most recent custom shops. Keep going. No, it's not that one. It's from that range of guitars. Keep going down. And there, right? The very last one. You better bring this up on screen, man. This is... So, that Goliath is unbelievable. That hype is unbelievable. Look at that fretboard, man. Oh! That fretboard also is kind of like... I don't even know, marbled. The shark. This. I need this in my life.
Okay, so we've got... I could probably turn the volume down. We don't need to hear Perry talking. Shut up, Pez.
I don't think he's saying anything. Look at that. Oh my God. Throw it on me. I need that so hard, man. Look at it. Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like that.
It's kind of cool. Look at it. It's fucking incredible.
Well, obviously, with my playing and shit, I'm in a weird, not a weird place with things, but there's a time where that's the only sort of guitar that I'd ever take interest in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, flamboyant, over the top, rock, shred, metal guitars. But I'm playing soul music now.
You could still go on stage with that and play soul.
I could. Melissa would fire me immediately if she saw that. I keep joking about using the Ormsby, the headless, the Goliath.
Oh, the Goliath.
The Goliath. And she's like, "It's not happening, Levi. You know, it's simply not happening." So you know, she's a demanding bitch. What can I say? Fuck that bitch.
You know your place.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Following up on the subject of guitars, I mentioned last week with it was FedEx, wasn't it? Being a pain in the arse with those guitars from Sweetwater.
Again.
Yeah. Well, I still don't have the guitars. I don't know what the situation is. I left it with them. I was like, do what you need to do. But I did mention it to Sweetwater just to be like, just so you know, they're going to contact you. And just to highlight what a boss company Sweetwater are, they were like, don't worry about it at all. They were like, if you get charged any import fees, just let us know. Send us an invoice for it, and we'll refund it to you. Quality.
I've always heard that about Sweetwater.
Decent guys.
Always heard that. Is it not Sweetwater that's got the meme about them, about the staff that look with the after sales service is just the finest?
Yeah. So yeah.
Big up.
I'm less annoyed by the situation now, but I still am annoyed. I still am going out of my way to refuse to pay anything. I do still feel like it'll be like if I want to say to FedEx, if it turns up at my door and you try to charge me for it, you can take it all the way back to America. Even though I now know it won't cost me anything to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking principle thing. Sweetwater also shouldn't have to pay anything for it. So,
I agree. But they're seeing the positive side and you're seeing the angry side.
Yeah. I'm seeing the having fun side and not giving a fuck side. So it's my thing.
Do it right.
Right. So we're going to start the show with what's probably the main subject. Just because it's follow on from last time. We've been talking about streaming a lot. We've been talking about Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
We had read an email from Gavin Blackburn in the past. Gavin was the gentleman that is actually a big Neil Young fan. So he's left Spotify, not out of principle, not like a principled stand or anything, but he left Spotify because he needs to be somewhere he can listen to Neil Young.
Is he not back on Spotify? Was that not one of the things I sent you?
He's got some of his big hit things on Spotify, but they're not albums. It's from motion pictures and things like that.
Right, okay.
That he wouldn't have that.
So like singles and releases that he didn't have necessarily full control over.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's still available, I believe, in Canada. I think there's some regions where he's still available.
Right.
Anyway, Gavin was talking in the Discord server.
Mm-hmm.
Great conversation about Spotify. He put forward an idea to what he thinks is could be a solution for Spotify. So let's talk about that, and then we're going to talk about Deezer.
Oh,
Deezer, mind Deezer?
There are so many varied platforms that have come and gone or are still running, but you wouldn't really know about it and that have had their heyday and stuff. Yeah. It's really weird. So Gavin writes, "Hi again. Fuck the Tories." You're right, Gavin. That's the end of the email. I posted on the Discord again after last podcast, and Levi said to send it in, so here goes. It's about Spotify. I agree with Levi. You're not going to fix right holder payments models without solving the issue of people not wanting to pay for music. I also think that Spotify won't change their payment model if it affects their bottom line, unless it's forced somehow. However, I'm going to suggest a new model anyway. I agree with everything you said. At the end of the day, Daniel Eck's not going to go, how do I give myself less money? Just being honest, that's how businesses work. My suggestion would be that Spotify fee covers listening to the Spotify radio stations. If you listen to one of their created playlists or go to an artist and listen to their radio station, this is covered. Rights holders should be paid at the same rate as they are when their songs are played on traditional radio. Surprised this wasn't part of the deal record company struck. This is because I think a lot of people use Spotify as a radio substitute. I would not be surprised if the majority of people who use it for free just click a top 40 list or something. They can still include adverts, they need something to cover the increased royalties, but the selling point is you get to listen to things that you should enjoy more. If I want to listen to Jason Isbell and people who play similar music, I'm shit out of luck on most radio stations. Praise be to Bob Harris. Spotify let me do that for practically any artist. Yes. Pandora was the other one that did that as well, wasn't it? You put in an artist and it gave you 10 other artists.
Pandora, certainly what I remember of Pandora, when I first discovered Pandora, it wasn't available in the UK and I had to access it via a VPN, but I discovered a lot of bands similar to the music I enjoyed. So yeah, praise to Pandora.
Yes. Then, if you purposefully listen to an artist, so you select a track for theirs rather than it appearing in a generated playlist or radio station, you pay a penny a listen up until you've paid an agreed fee for that song. In effect, you bought the single. I think this should be easy to track in user profiles. For example, every song costs £1, so after 100 listens, you own it. This would include playlists you make. This maintains the more traditional payments for rights holders, but ties you to Spotify as they are in fact maintain your paid for library. I know it isn't perfect, it doesn't address people listening for free, maybe even more ads and limited radio stations. Personally, I think they should have to pay. And the increased profile info may raise prices, and it really shouldn't. But it's the best model I could come up with. What do you think? Right, I'm off to London. Apparently the royal family are giving away millions of pounds to people they've never met before for absolutely no reason, so I want some of that. Cheers, Gav. You're right, Gav. I was already down there, mate. I think they've already gave them out. It's like, you know, you get like a cash machine that isn't working right and it gives you 20s instead of 10s. You know that shit goes quick. So that was that. I really like this model.
Yeah, there's some. I mean, I like the idea. I don't think it's even close to implementable. But I think
I think it wouldn't be implementable because people would just say no.
Yeah.
Because they are greedy, entitled bastards. And that is, therein lies the problem.
Yeah.
These profiles are, platforms came out going, listen to music for free,
Yeah.
unlimited, free, as much as you want, on demand.
Yeah.
And then introduce payments.
Yeah, there was a time where radio was good enough. It was a great service that people had access to and they were happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think during that parallel between making Spotify a little bit more like radio, it obviously takes away some of the end user functionality. But I think that assertion that end user functionality is something that people should have been entitled to is really at the core of the problem. It helped to devalue music.
Mm-hmm.
Though he does talk about things being played on traditional radio and the royalty rates for that. So that's not a fixed fee. It's fixed fee depending on the radio station. If you can get played on BBC Radio 1, you're going to make bank. But if you're just getting played on small local radios, you're not getting paid, £80 for your song being played. And the BBC can pay so much to artists as a royalty rate because we rip the arse out of it with a television license fee in this country. Like
I don't pay a TV license.
That money isn't being generated from ads. So that is. Actually, for that to work, for us to move Spotify over into that place, we would have to force people to buy Spotify, much like the government tries to force you to have a TV license here, which gives you access to the radio. Interesting, you don't need a TV license to listen to the radio, though, do you? TV license to listen to TV, but that money funds
because
radio.
It's not really anything to do with like a license to have a TV. It's a license to watch broadcasts on a certain channel.
Yeah.
In lieu of them putting adverts on.
Yeah.
Which they start advertise anyway, so fuck them.
So
corrupt.
Yeah, I think there's some interesting ideas in here.
Mm-hmm.
This idea though of I kind of like that idea of like you pay a penny per listen until you've paid the agreed amount and then you own the song. But artists are never ultimately going to be happy with that, are they? Because it comes to a point where they're earning money for you listening to their songs, and then suddenly they're no longer earning money from you listening to their songs.
But surely they would still be getting a royalty until you own that copy.
Yes,
and then you would get it's almost the same as having a sale, but also having the rental. Shall we say the rental fee before you get the sale? So it's a reasonable way to put more revenue towards bands, I think.
This isn't a rental fee before you get the sale, though, because it's not that you rent it, and then you buy it. It's you rent it, and then you no longer have to rent it because you own it.
Well, but by that point, you've already paid the whatever it would be fee for the actual the song. So it's a good steady way for revenue to come in for bands. I mean, I say steady as in like it would be good for people to have that money coming in on a consistent basis. But realistically, that might mean that people are getting 30 or 40 pence a month.
Yeah,
maybe not as much as that, or as little as that, but you get what I mean.
Yeah. So I'm going to use that as a springboard to jump on over to talking about Deezer. This was also brought up on Discord.
These nuts!
Exactly.
Got him! Sorry.
So Deezer have a payment system in place, or are putting a payment system in place, which they call UCPS, working on a mission for fairness and transparency when it comes to paying artists. Let me bring this up for people. I'm not going to play the video. But yeah, so I'll let you read this.
You can't play shit, UCPS. Today, the system doesn't enable you to support your artists through your streams. Correct. Current system. Sarah streams Artist A 90 times, and John streams Artist B 10 times. Artist A, big money. Artist B, $1. John and Sarah both pay the same amount for their monthly Deezer subscription, but because Sarah streams much more, most of John's money goes to the artist Sarah listens to. Only a small part of John's money is actually going to the artist he listens to. With user-centric payment system, which is UCPS, your money only goes to the artists you stream. Okay, right then. I mean, I can foresee a problem being here already that Justin Bieber's going to end up the richest man on earth. But we'll move on.
No, because but Justin Bieber, this system functionally makes Justin Bieber richer.
That's what I mean.
Than this system. So switching over to this is bad for Justin Bieber, but good for Party Cannon.
No.
Yeah. Like artist A is now making less money, despite the fact he's still getting the same amount of streams. Artist B is now making a lot more money, despite the fact they're getting a fraction of the streams. Because
Have I misunderstood this then?
John's money is going to only the people that John listens to.
Yes.
Well,
So my point is that the big artists who are already like mega popular on the sites are just going to end up with much more revenue.
No, they are currently making much more revenue because ultimately what it comes down to, right, is the way streaming currently works is it's a subsidizing system. When you really think about it, I think that this is a real misrepresentation of things by saying that Sarah streams artist A 90 times and John streams artist B 10 times. And then trying to say it's unfair that artist A, who was streamed 9 times more than artist B, makes 9 times more money than artist B. That's not unfair. That's how that should be. You are more popular, you are more successful in the streaming market, therefore you should make more money than someone that is less popular in the streaming market. And the reality of this system, the current system, is that that works in the same way that going to the gym works or going to a buffet works. Yeah, you go to a buffet, you go to the gym, you pay your amount, and there are people that at my gym that use the gym a lot more than I do. My fee is essentially subsidising their use of the gym. I underuse the service, and there are other people that overuse the service. And the idea is that it's supposed to balance itself out, right?
But it doesn't balance out. What it actually means is that gym owners make a lot of money.
Yeah, you could look at this and you could say, Sarah, you're an asshole because Sarah, you're an asshole because you stream too much music. Stream less music. It's unfair how much you're streaming. You could look at John and say, you can't complain about this. You only streamed 10 tracks. You're underusing the service. You're not using enough of the service. Use more of the service. You know what the fee is. Like, we don't go to buffets and complain about the way payment works, and it's exactly the same. Spotify is a buffet. Sometimes I go to a buffet and I eat more than my fucking fair share. More often than not, I go to a buffet intending to eat more than my fair share, and I actually have one plate and then sit there and go, I really overpaid for that. I'd paid $15.99 plus drinks to go to the Hupley, and I've had one plate of food.
Yeah, and I mean, for that plate of food, you do enjoy it because it's probably all chicken or beef or ribs.
Yeah,
no rice, no chips, none of that filler shite.
Yeah.
You are full on in there with a Hupley special chicken and fucking sweet and sour. And,
See, but actually, that's a really nice spin to put on this, because when you do that, you get exactly what you want, and as much of exactly what you want as you want. Even if what you want isn't much, you get exactly what you want. In this scenario, John got exactly what he wanted. He listened to his artist as much as he wanted to. So to then change up the system to say, well, actually, what we're going to do at the buffet now is you're going to come in, you're going to sit down, but you don't just go up and help yourself to whatever you want. You're going to pay a certain amount, but all that money is going to go for the things that you actually use. So we're going to keep a track record of all of the food that you actually eat while you're here. So this way,
sounds like Hupley.
you won't. This way, you won't be paying for food that other people have eaten. You'll only pay for the food that you've eaten. We have a system like that currently. We call them restaurants. We call them restaurants. It's already a system. We have that. So I take huge issue with this. At its core, this idea, I'm going to bring it up so we can talk about it. At its core, this is a nice idea. This is a romantic idea. But I think this is really Deezer just trying to make themselves look like good guys. Because let's switch the perspective round, right?
Seize the means of compensation.
This only works if you come at it from the perspective of artist B, yeah? But if you come at it from the perspective of artist A...
Why am I being paid less for still being the most popular?
Yeah, I'm 9 times more successful at this than other people. Why am I suddenly getting paid less money?
You say it's 9 times more successful. What you probably would have to factor in as well is that you are probably being bolstered by a 9 times bigger company that's got 9 times more resources and revenue to put behind you, and 9 times as much bargaining power in terms of what money they're going to make.
Yes. But at its it's not a question of like how unethical or how unreasonable, how unfair it was that you found yourself in the position. The reality is you are now in a situation where, if we just look at these numbers, you are 9 times more popular. So successful is probably not the right way of putting it, but you are doing the job. You're getting 9 times more streams than someone else. So to then be turned around to and be told, you actually know you can't earn more. When you really think about this, what this means is we are saying Sarah streams too much music. So we're saying UCPS, the idea here is that Sarah only generates X amount of revenue from towards streaming by her subscription model. And once she's listened to an artist X amount, they essentially reach an income cap. The artist can no longer earn more from Sarah because she's paid her fair bit. So now Sarah functionally just listens to their music for free. That really is what it is. Sarah now listens to their music without compensating the artist.
On top of the other artists, the other people who may be accessing streaming programs without paying anyway.
Yes.
So again, we go back to the problem being that people aren't paying enough.
Yeah.
Music is being undervalued. Yeah. Not that there's a problem with how the money transpires to artists.
And if we look at John's perspective and the artist that John listens to, I obviously this is good. If John uses Spotify or whatever the service happens to be, using this method, and the only artist he listens to is Party Cannon for the month, he pays $10. And after the streaming platform takes their cut, if you like, all of the money, all of his subscription fee would go to Party Cannon. That does make sense. That is great. That in theory, that's a great idea. But then you've got a restaurant and not a buffet. And the appeal of things like this is great for small bands. It really is great for small bands. But let's not ignore the huge benefits that there are for Deezer. This is really about Deezer, because no matter what happens, Deezer still get to skim their bit off the top. The idea behind a method like this is to encourage people to go and join Deezer because it's fairer for artists. Whereas at its core, seeing stuff like this and going, this is awesome, let's go and support Deezer, it's actually just great for Deezer. It's not great for big artists.
It's still a subscription model. There's no change to how you're paying and accessing the stuff.
Yeah. Unless we're removing this idea of there being
unlimited for X amount.
Yeah, unlimited for X amount, then the thing, gyms, buffets, whatever it happens to be, where you pay a subscription model, you are always paying more than is realistically needed for the to access the service, because that's why you want people to subscribe to things. Yeah, you want people to pay a fixed fee, because I said this idea that Sarah has clearly streamed too much music. She hasn't. At the royalty rate that Spotify pays, you cannot stream too much music. You can never, I don't think, you could ever come to the point where you have streamed so much music this month that Spotify are having to pay artists royalties out of their own pocket because your subscription method hasn't generated enough revenue.
That'll never happen.
I don't think that's currently possible.
No.
But of course, the safety net is, if that does happen, that's fine. We'll just get to take the royalties from the excess that John makes, or John hasn't paid to artists. At its core, that is risky, that is shitty, but let's be clear about this. It's theoretically possible. It is theoretically possible that Spotify could have to reach into their own pocket and pay artists because people are streaming too much music. Theoretically. Won't happen, but it's theoretically possible. This system from Deezer removes that theoretical possibility. So this actually is just an insurance policy for Deezer. The way I look at this is an insurance policy for Deezer. This is good for the small artist with a tiny, tiny audience. But if you have a tiny audience, who cares? This is terrible for big artists. Terrible for big artists. And if I was a big artist, if I was John Mayer, I would pull my music from Deezer immediately. Why wouldn't
you? Because it's of one of many revenue streams. Is he going to be all that bothered about him making 60 quid less on Deezer?
I don't think it would be 60 quid less.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to go with yes. And the reason I go with yes is because it's not about how much X revenue that you make less from being on Deezer. It's the X revenue that you make less from being on Deezer, plus the marketing, plus the power that your music on there brings to the idea of using Deezer as a service, which therefore might bring more people over to Deezer and turn it around to the point where Deezer suddenly becomes
Neil Young, calm down.
suddenly becomes the main way people consume music. At its core, there's something here that I like. I'm not going to lie. There's something here that I like. But being really realistic about this is playing on people's emotions. From a business perspective, this isn't it.
That's the thing. None of us have got the answer, though.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that there are companies trying their best to get towards the answer.
Yeah.
Which is good. Thanks very much for the mail as well, Gavin. I think thinking about it, the problem it just boils back to not enough money being paid in for what people get.
Yeah.
That's the gist of it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's something that was thought of far too late by record labels, bands, streaming services, everybody. Because I remember signing up for Spotify when it first came out in early beta, and it was completely free, no ads. And it was only after about 6 or 7 months where it was, you can pay, I think it might have been $5 a month, or you can listen to ads. And I was like, I'll just listen to ads. who else isn't going to be like that? When you're given something
Yeah.
and that sets the tone for the market value, how the fuck do you make the value go back up
Yeah.
without causing scarcity?
Here's the horrible answer to that, actually. Here is a horrible answer to that. A monopoly. Now, I'm not suggesting a monopoly is a good thing, because when you look at streaming services like Netflix, they don't have a true monopoly of the streaming market by any stretch of the imagination, but they have enough of the pie, and there's so few, competitors, that all of them collectively can just start raising their prices, and you can't really do anything about it. So, if Spotify got to the point where they were the only streaming service in town, they could then start charging more for the streaming service. And it's not a case of whether or not the consumer values the product enough to pay more. It's knowing that there's no alternative. So you would be forced to pay more. Now, of course, I'm not a fan of that as an idea, but I just don't know. I don't think there's a solution to this problem. You cannot convince people that something that they've had for fun, functionally free for eternity now, not literal eternity, but for such a long period of time, is suddenly worth something and something they have to pay for. It's not going to happen. We're fighting a losing battle. I'm tired of talking about it, but we'll keep talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, Kieran and I were talking yesterday, and I had a real good idea about a money-making model. We were going to create non-fungible tokens. So you pay for it, I send you it, but you need to send me it right back. You pay me more, you can have it for longer, but you need to send me it back.
Feels like a non-fungible token rental scheme.
You'll find it's non-fungible tokens. Don't you dare try and shit in my dreams. And it is rental, you're right, but it's a non-fungible token.
Yep.
So if anybody wants to join my NNFT craze and pay me $8 billion for a picture of me giving the finger that you need to send me back, then we're sound.
We're just going to briefly bring this up because this has only had 500 views on YouTube, so I feel that this puts us like right at the peak of reporting on something that other people haven't reported on. This is a gentleman receiving a gift from Zakk Wylde because so this guy plays in an Aussie tribute band,
right?
An Aussie. He plays in an Aussie tribute band.
Okay.
And
he looks awfully like Zakk Wylde.
He's got cancer.
Oh,
he's been going.
I was going to laugh about the fact that he didn't have a beard or long hair, but that just makes me a total dick.
He's been in touch with Zakk over the years. Zakk's seen what he's doing, and Zakk saw that he was going through cancer treatment. So Zakk got in touch and wanted to send over a wee gift. So Father Todd. So he's put together a little gift for this gentleman, which is a good thing to do. Why not?
Yeah, that's regardless of whether it's for clicks or no. Like obviously, isn't it? If there's only 500 views, like what a fucking nice thing to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually bring it up so you.
Oh my god!
So when I saw this, my gut instinct was
oh my god!
Who wants a fucking wild audio guitar? Like Zack's probably got hundreds of these. He's got immediate access to these. But
let me see.
Then I remember.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh my god! It's beautiful. It's been played.
Is that one of Zack's actual guitars?
He played this.
That's cool.
He's played it.
Do you think Zack's played it?
What a great guy.
He's played it.
It's definitely one he has because he's got the stickers and that on it for where his tech's obviously been like checking the tunings and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it was used out on tour. It was
how many fucking strings has he gave him?
It was used out on tour with Zakk Sabbath. There is a little,
that's amazing, man.
There's a little note. Let's have him read the wee note.
I was going to read it, but okay.
But you can read it then. Go on then.
I can certainly try. Father Todd, hope all is crushing as always, my brethren of doom. May you and this Zakk Sabbath barbarian crush endless riffs and solos as you're kicking cancer's ass. This fiddle is from the last ZS crusade that we did. That's why it's got the scratches and blood, sweat and tears on it. Can't wait to see you on stage rolling with him during your Sabbath segment of the show. Much love, stay strong, God bless. Aye.
Good lad, well done.
Aye, sound. Especially the no just sending a guitar, sending one of his guitars.
Yeah.
That, for no other reason than sentimental value to this guy, is
it would be incredibly easy to just be like, yeah, cool, I own the guitar company, I'll make sure the factory send him one.
And here's one that I took on tour.
Yeah, super nice. Good guy, Zakk, well done. One more reason to like Zakk Wylde. I feel that my life is a constant series of trying to tell people why they should like Zakk Wylde, but
it is. It's alright, mine's just telling people why they should like Buckethead. And you being like, no, he's got too much music.
Yeah, he does. He does way too much fucking music. Okay, so Fender factory in Mexico catches fire.
Oh, I didn't read this before.
Yeah, I think
That's
it just
not good.
happened yesterday.
Yeah, looks like it. Right, Fender may not want to be giving away all those guitar lessons quite yet. According to news from Ensenada.net, the guitar company's factory in Ensenada, Mexico, just caught fire. According to the site, one of the factory's warehouses caught fire this Wednesday, the 16th, at approximately 6:30 a.m. The blaze was 6:30 a.m. The blaze was quickly controlled by firefighters from throughout the city. The fire became so powerful that workers were evacuated, and there was worry it might spread to the next door sludge plant or burn hazardous materials within the warehouse. Thankfully, though photos of the fire make it look insane, none of the factory's workers were harmed in the blaze, and while the loss of guitars or guitar-making materials sucks, we're just glad everyone's okay. I likewise, man. Don't want to hear that about anybody or any company.
Yeah, let's bring that up for people. There you go.
And
That's a fire.
that's like people's livelihoods and shit, so
Yeah.
hopefully that gets sorted soon. Nobody's put out of place.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, Fender are a massive company. So I'm sure that this won't cripple them. I'm sure they can be back on their feet in no time.
Yeah, I'm
at
not
all.
bothered about Fender, I'm talking about the staff.
Yeah, sure.
As long as they're not shitting on them, because a lot of these places...
Well, I mean, they definitely are shitting on
Oh,
them,
yeah.
which is why they have a factory in Mexico. You don't have a factory in Mexico for any reason other than cheaper labor, right?
I mean, they've had a factory in Mexico for some time,
Sure.
but you're right.
Yeah. Because the company didn't start in Mexico. It's like having a production facility in China. Like you only have no one's like, oh, I want to have my guitars built in China because I just think that would result in the best quality product. It's cost effective.
It's the best quality product for the money they want to pay
Yeah.
for it.
So that was a shame for Fender. But let's move on and talk about something also Fender related to a degree.
Okay.
We talked about this previously. This feels like I'm doing feminism. Let's do the feminism. Go.
Okay. Is the world of signature guitars finally ready to fix its gender gap?
No.
I feel as if like you were a ventriloquist dummy there, because that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And for no other reason than there aren't as many female artists as there are male
Yeah.
that are in the limelight, and that's what needs to get fixed before signature guitars
Yeah.
probably can. But if that's a step forward, that's good.
Yeah. While I disagree with you, and we talked about it on the show, while I disagree with Fender's absolute mince assertion that more than 50% of guitars that are purchased now are purchased by women, I just don't buy it for a second.
They might be, but I'm pretty sure there'll be lots of sex toys purchased by men through Ann Summers that aren't for them.
That's a really interesting way of putting it. I didn't think about that either.
Just because you bought it doesn't mean they are the consumer.
Yeah.
In that regard.
Yeah, until you find yourself in a position where the influential people that play the instruments are 50% women, then you will find that fewer women have signature guitars, because signature guitars aren't a reward that you get for having a good career. They're a business opportunity.
It's all business, baby.
Yeah. And to be fair, you could say, well, putting signature guitars in the hands of a woman is a business opportunity in 2022.
But
I'm not going to argue with that. It absolutely is.
And there are lots of people who deserve it.
But there's certainly it's the deserving it part that's important. You can't just go, well, equality for the sake of equality. Like it's a quality of opportunity, not a quality of outcome.
I mean, that's all right until we think about Nita Strauss, and then there's not equality there, equality of opportunity. That was just cherry picked.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying equality of opportunity is what we want to go for.
Yeah.
We don't want to force equality of outcome.
No.
Anyway, I'll let you read the story.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. In late January, Epiphone announced a new instrument collaboration with rock and roll stalwart Joan Jett. The stringed instrument and amplifier company, which was purchased by Gibson in 1957, partnered with the trailblazing singer and songwriter last year to devise one of the only new custom guitar models to bear the name of a female artist. Modelled off her old trusted Gibson Melody Maker, the Joan Jett Olympic Special is a lightweight electric guitar with an asymmetrical body and glossy white finish. Like Jett's music with the Black Hearts on her first band, The Runaways, both noted for charging riffs and clear-cut song structure, her signature artist model guitar is loaded up with a straightforward, user-friendly features.
We're not going to continue reading
we can patch
an
that.
ad read for that guitar.
Yeah. Signature artist model instruments which pair an established brand name luthier with a famous player's specific technical preferences, which can range from pickups to wood type to paint colour and everything in between, sometimes literally just to paint, have existed for more than a century. In 1952, though, Gibson released its iconic Les Paul model, a gold, heavy, solid wood, rounded body electric guitar named after the famed instrumentalist. Since then, Gretsch launched its Chet Atkins model in 55, Guild made 2 Dwayne Eddy models in the early 60s, and Ibanez released a rhinestone gilded axe for Paul Stanley of Kiss in 1978.
Are they implying there that Ibanez made the 4th ever signature guitar? I'm sure that's probably not the case.
Probably not, but maybe that was the first of theirs. Fender first launched its own artist models in 1998, having since collaborated with Clapton, Malmsteen, Page, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Kurt Cobain, and more. Most of these signature models have been made for white men, though. Some black guitarists, many of whom are musicians like Buddy Guy, Muddy Waters, and even Jimi Hendrix, sorry, that's blues musicians, have gotten their own instruments too, but most noticeably missing and misrepresented are women. Of course, Chet's new guitar is not the only signature model made for a female musician. In the 90s, Fender released its first signature Stratocaster for a woman, the blues rock legend Bonnie Raitt. In the 2010s, BC Rich released the Lita Ford signature Warlock. Other women with their own models include Sheryl Crow's Gibson Acoustic, Avril Lavigne's Squire Telecaster, a Newporter Acoustic, Chrissy Hines Telecaster, and Taylor Swift's Big Baby Taylor Acoustic. Most of these models, however, were sadly short-lived. In 2017, St Vincent became the first woman to design her own line of signature guitars from scratch, working with Ernie Will Music Man to launch the series. Cool guitars. As Annie Clark, the Grammy Award-winning musician behind the St Vincent moniker, told Vice News in March of that year, she spent a lot of time in the design phase making sure it was as comfortable to play sitting as it was standing up. On her Instagram, she also joked there's room for a breast or two. Not only does Clark play the signature St Vincent models exclusively now, but other musicians like Beck, Dave Grohl of the Foo Fighters, and Omar Rodriguez Lopez of the Mars Volta have all shredded on them too. Grohl already has his own signature Gibson hollow-bodied electric though, and while Beck doesn't, British guitarist Jeff Beck has his own signature Strat. It seems like a parade of missed opportunities that so many women, despite being known for their own iconic guitar tones, don't have the customised and name-branded gear to show for it. That sister Rosetta Tharpe, for example, the godmother of rock and roll, whose revolutionary use of distorted electric guitar blues influenced not just one style of music but all the ways in which the instrument is used, never had their own signature instrument, is a travesty. And more recently, what about musicians like Carrie Brownstein or Sleater Kinney? Of Sleater Kinney? Susan Tedeschi? Surely a Phoebe Bridgers signature model would move some units, yet they've all been inexplicably passed over in favour of a range of white, male indie rockers.
Right, we're going to stop now because I'm getting tired of the narrative that's being pushed on it.
Yeah, it's not not an unbiased source. I think they're making a point, but
Yeah.
they're a bit heavy on it.
They're making a point, but they're also just missing that they're or not focused on the fact that this is business. It's just business. It really is simply business. You want to give Susan Tedeschi a signature guitar. Sorry, who's the guitar player? Who's the guitar player in our band who does have a signature guitar?
Derek Trucks.
Oh, Derek Trucks. Yeah, okay.
One of famous for probably being the best slide player of our generation.
One of the greatest guitar players alive today.
Yeah, fair.
Susan is not one of the best guitar players alive today. Susan is a distinctly average guitar player. She, you could even argue, actually no, she's got a wonderfully soulful voice. She's got a wonderful control of her voice. But if you actually measure her voice, she has a laughably small range. She can do so much with so little.
Mm-hmm.
To be like she deserves a signature guitar because why? There's no deserve. Who's going to buy that? You mentioned, or I say you mentioned, there are some other people on there, musicians like Carrie Brownstein. Who the fuck's that?
I don't know.
Sleater
I've
Kinney?
never heard of Sleater Kinney. That's the band that Carrie
Sexist.
Brownstein plays in.
Sexist. Oh, sorry,
sexist.
of Sleater Kinney, yeah. Sexist.
What, are you calling the band sexist or me?
Yeah,
Or
everything.
Carrie?
And Sister Rosetta Tharpe not having signature guitar. Well, she can't have one now, can she? She can't sign off on it. I think we all agree that it's incredibly distasteful when more Hendrix signature stuff comes out.
It's unbelievable.
Hendrix can't sign off. I was happy to say that it was incredibly distasteful when Vigier released another Sean Lane signature after or they didn't release it. They made some changes to the model.
But it's not changes that Sean wanted, was it?
Sean didn't sign off on these changes. Like the artist model business idea is something that you have to be very careful with. You have to toe a careful line on it, and it really is as simple as we can go down the race route, I guess, to a degree, because the talk of like it's usually white men that get them. That's absolutely right, and we've I'm not saying that should be the case, but we've talked about this in the past. Like, it took a white man to do rock and roll before it was marketable, and in the UK, it took white people to rap for it to suddenly become something that was mainstream. This happens the same with blues music. It happens time and time again. It takes a white man to do something before people with money go, yeah, I think we can throw loads of money behind this and market that. That's a bad thing. Like
That's institutional racism.
It shouldn't be the case, and we should be moving forward from that. But we can't, at the same time, just pretend that lots of white men aren't famous. Like, we can't just. It's impossible to like. I can see it happening, but I think that, like, if I don't know, the success of Neil Young's name at the moment because of the Spotify thing resulted in a company going, we'd like to put out a signature guitar, and him going, yeah, actually, it sounds really good. And then someone from the legal department run in and go, whoa, 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 whoa. We've reached our quota of releasing signature gear for white men this year, so we can't no, we're legally not allowed to anymore. We can't, like, it's all just business.
But nobody's forcing that anyway.
No, of course not. But what I'm saying is people are taking issue with doing what makes sense for business. It is we find ourselves in an unfortunate situation where the straight white man is constantly the thing that's put in the limelight.
Because it's straight white men that run the businesses, and it's the straight white men who are always generally at the forefront of the thing that can be sold.
Yes. We can't ignore that is the case, though. Like,
of course,
yeah.
That it'd be nice to change that and make it more equal, but that is where we're at the moment, and that's why things are the way they are.
Yes.
That doesn't make it right. That just makes it reality.
Yes, and I think we're talking, like, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because we're talking about art, we're talking about music. If we were talking about, I don't know, upper level management at Amazon, then I'm happy to get into this discussion. But. And be massively on side with the idea of, like, going out of your way to try and give as much opportunity for everybody. I think that in music, we have always had, in theory, what's a meritocracy? We have always had, in theory, equality of opportunity. Everybody has the opportunity.
Yes.
There might be certain people putting more money behind certain things because those things tend to be more successful, but that's because music's expensive to produce.
I think it's also fair to add in that there are certain music producers and representatives within the market who will probably be very bad faith actors. Like, is it Dr. Hook, the chap's name is, that had the big run-in with, what do you call her, Taylor Swift? And she's now re-recording, re-releasing all of her songs because of that. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of those bad faith actors, and I think those are probably the stumbling gateway for the majority of female musicians who could find themselves in these positions. Yeah. So again, it goes back to the problem is the system and potential discrimination. Is that the root of why there are less women on the forefront? Because realistically, just being honest, as we're talking about, it is all white males generally that run the record labels.
You are right, but then at the same time, when we switch our perspective and look at a different genre, like the pop genre is dominated by women.
That's because they're the most easily marketed.
Sure, but that's an example of, like, there are benefits to everything in life. Yeah. There are upsides and there are downsides. You could look at, like, we mentioned Susan Tedeschi here, right? Like, I would imagine most people listening to this podcast have never even heard her play, you know? And I'm not saying you should, I'm not saying go out and fix that, but at the same time, you've all heard Lady Gaga. But you can't give Lady Gaga a signature guitar.
Oh, you could.
You could.
Of anything you wanted, and she would just be her signature.
Yeah. It would be the most hollow and empty thing to give her a signature guitar. Yeah. But this doesn't make good business sense. Actually, it probably does make good business sense to give her a signature guitar.
But signature fucking Beats headphones.
I guess the point is people would see through it if you gave her a signature guitar. Yeah. And Taylor does have a signature. The point is, like, everyone has fucking opportunity. And I'm not saying it's fair or ideal, but unfortunately, while I'm all, we talked about it earlier, equality of opportunity over equality of outcome. I am all for equality of opportunity. I'm never for equality of outcome. And nowhere is that truer than in art. Nowhere is that truer than in art. You might be able to convince me of equality of outcome in like work in the workplace, in the offices. You might be able to convince me of that. You're never going to convince me that equality of outcome is a desired goal in art.
I can put this full thing to bed agreeing with you in one sentence.
Go on.
I might be able to start an OnlyFans, but the chances of it being 0.01 top creators are very slim.
And no one's ever buying your bathwater.
Why not?
Yeah.
Is what I want to know.
One other quick Fender thing.
No, wait a minute. This goes out to the live chat, right? Monday Night Guitar Geek Club. Why would you not buy my bathwater? Answers a postcard.
I mean, I can answer it if you want.
It's nobody wants that.
Because it looks like because it looks less like bathwater and more like soup.
I don't even really go in the bath. I shower. The joke's on you.
Yeah.
Haha. I never deep boil my gooch.
I'm a big fan of it.
Oh, strange sentence.
Super quick one. Fender have also brought back the George Harrison. I meant to bring this up earlier. They brought back the George Harrison Rosewood Telecaster.
Wow. Exciting. To be fair, I do really like Rosewood Telecasters. I just don't give a fuck about George Harrison.
Sure, I agree with you on that. What they did have one, yeah. So I knew they were really expensive, the 2017 ones. And here's the claim that they now fetch scary money secondhand. I thought the 2017s were expensive in the first place.
They probably were.
I thought they were really overpriced for what they were in the first place. This new one that's available is £2,749 or $2,900.
Which is still a ridiculous amount of money for a basic Telecaster.
Yeah, bare bones basic Telecaster. I'm going to keep saying it, guys. Never pay over the odds for a Telecaster. There's never a good reason to pay over the odds for a Telecaster. There just simply isn't. It's go and buy any other guitar other than a Telecaster. Any guitar you could imagine, and it has more design features on it than a Telecaster. It is. Every aspect on a guitar other than a Telecaster has tried to improve upon the design of a Telecaster. Telecaster is the most bare bones instrument that money can possibly buy. It is the simplest guitar to pay £2,000, almost £3,000 for one is fucking laughable. There's no good reason. Make your own. You can just make your own Telecaster. You got a coffee table at home? Cut a Telecaster shape out of it, because that's basically what a Telecaster is.
Hi, pretty much.
So don't do it. Okay.
Save yourself the money.
The Rob Geringer?
I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a really cool fucking guitar, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about anything else. I've not watched the show. So this is about the halftime Super Bowl show. Obviously, probably one of the biggest entertainment events of the year in America. Is it yearly, the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Is it yearly? Yeah. And Rob was sporting a beautiful PRS Silver Sky, but it was chromed. A one-off chrome Silver Sky.
How do you feel about chromed instruments?
When it's done right, it's super minted. It's so hard to get done right.
Yeah.
And that's probably how I feel about it, to be honest. I went out my way of buying a special, as close to mirror finish as you can, chrome paint, because I was going to paint one of my guitars with it. To date, I've not been brave enough to put it on because it cost a fortune, and I also don't know how well the coverage would be. Yeah. But my understanding is this is the closest you can get to chroming a guitar that isn't dipping it in chrome like Saatchi's or whatever this treatment is, because it's like the money that goes into doing it and the effort to get that kind of finish is unbelievable. Yeah. You?
I quite like them.
Mm-hmm.
I always really liked the Satriani one.
Yes.
Because of course, why wouldn't you? It's iconic. I wanted one for a long time, but no, they're not now. It's two things, isn't it? Right, one, it's far too fucking flashy, far too flashy. They're a nightmare to film. Like, they're a nightmare to have on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Just reflecting light. You see, like, you trying to show people the guitar, and all you can see is the cameraman in it. So a nightmare from that perspective. Also, they tarnish so unbelievably easily. You know, if you have a high quality gloss guitar, you can spend your entire lifetime trying to get fingerprints off it, you know, to make it look as good as possible.
It'll never look as nice as it did when it came out the factory.
Yeah.
Ever.
And that is that, but amplified. So but it's always nice to see people doing new things, or not new things, but making the effort to do things.
We already mentioned it. To be fair, the Paul Stanley.
I'll bring it up so people see on
smashed mirror chrome guitar was always really cool. The Iceman that he had.
I thought that was quite cool too.
No, it's the Washburn. Sorry, it's not an Ibanez. It was Washburn that done that finish first for him, wasn't it?
Was it?
Because that was their kind of thing. Okay. That cracked mirror finish. There was a dime shape, the ML shape that they did that with that finish on it too, and the Washburn Culprit, the kind of weird off shape ML. If memory serves correctly, I could be wrong. Oh my god!
Yeah, we're gonna power through these quick.
Oh, I've never seen this.
Yeah. So Ibanez
So they're really
releases
excited
their
here.
biggest ever run of custom shop instruments as it celebrates Hoshino USA's 50th anniversary.
Nice. The Japanese and Los Angeles custom shop joined forces to mark the occasion with unique, uber premium spec electric guitars and basses.
So we're not even going to read off the specs for them because
We're just gonna show
we're running
this
long,
one
but
that's-
we're gonna bring them up for you. So, how do you feel about that, Mike?
It needs 24 frets. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
really like this because it's classic. It's classy.
Yeah, that's really nice.
I always wanted an Iceman, especially an Iceman with the tailpiece, like the old is it the Artist 2
Sure.
style run, the old hardware, that beautiful. Look at the
I don't like the logo on the
even the
headstock.
bridge, because it's the old style Japanese style one.
I'm fine with the old Japanese style, but it seems to be they've got the old Japanese style on the truss rod cover rather than in the middle of the headstock. You know what I
Probably
mean?
just because of the shape of the headstock, because that truss cover comes up to
Yeah,
the
it's the-
second machine head.
Yeah, but I like that. It's nice.
But I agree with you. I think if they could even have got it on the tip of the headstock, that'd have been cool. Oh, like it.
Not for me.
I do like it, but for all the wrong reasons. Like it shouldn't. But see, the thing is, right? You could buy that and then just duct tape it, and then you would have your middles. This is cool. Is this all inlaid? It
Maybe.
is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice work.
Wow.
Those are the only pictures they
Is
have.
that it?
Let's go on over to Ibanez.
I was going to say, surely they're not talking about the biggest run of custom shop instruments yet, and there's 3.
Yeah, because we can.
There's
see-
not. There's obviously more than that. Oh my god, there's more market than there is fucking guitars.
Yeah.
See them all. Right. So we've got. Oh, they're called the Lax ones as well. That's nice.
That's LA Custom Shop.
Yeah. I like it. They're actually giving them the title.
What the fuck is this?
Wind shear. That's what it's called.
Oh,
You know what I especially don't like about this?
Huh?
The neck and the body are the same colour.
Yeah.
But as a concept, quite cool. Wait a minute. Is that a fan fret jazz?
Where?
Totally jazzed? No, left. That is a fan fret jazz guitar.
Yeah.
That's pretty pimping.
There's absolutely no need for it. But
There's no.
yeah.
I can imagine Pat Metheny playing one of these though.
Yeah.
It's very Metheny. You know what? There's probably a guitar in here for everybody.
Yeah.
In that regards, because even see if you go up, see the musician style 2, the artist double cut,
This-
JPS 27, the artist. You can buy an artist model that's similar to that, or could a few years ago that was like a production model. Look at that, man. That's stunning.
Yeah. I've not obviously looked through them because I didn't know it was a thing, but I would imagine probably that.
That's what you would have, the Roscoe.
But it's neck through, and I've decided I don't like neck through guitars.
Oh, you fucking snob.
Yeah.
There's something about the way the pickguard sat in the bottom horn of that one that I wasn't all that keen on.
Yeah, I don't like the way neck through guitars sound. God, I'm an asshole.
Are you joking?
I'm probably that one. Probably the totally jazzed, even though I said there's
No,
no,
but-
point.
Wait, let's just go back to what you just said there.
What?
You don't like the way neck through guitars sound
Yeah, I don't like
because they have less snap than a bolt on?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what?
Tried. I really have tried,
Oh.
but I couldn't fall in love with the sound of the mayonnaise, the
Veil?
Regis. Yeah.
I'm not going to shit on you solely because you barely play with gain these days.
Mm.
The minute you put that fucking gain channel on, it does not matter whether you've glued that neck on. It's the same bit of wood or it's fucking screws. It's certainly not as much as if you're playing clean and you can hear the difference
Yeah.
in attack and sustain.
Sure.
So I'll give you that on that basis. Otherwise, fucking snob.
Or even lower gain, like Brown says says the same thing. He uses the Duvel. It's a spanky instrument. I didn't really know what that meant until I got my the Hydra. When I got that Hydra, I was just immediate because I've been playing the Regis for so long, and then suddenly I have a bolt on neck again, and I'm like,
Stranger at the things that can affect your tone.
I was like, I like it. And I imagine Ackle from Tesseract, same thing. He's using the what's that? What's the cheaper one? The cheaper mayonnaise shape. It looks like the Regis, but it's got like a wobbly headstock and
Cetius?
Cetius. That's a bolt on. And obviously he's going for that over the obviously far superior looking Regis. I think the Regis is their best looking guitar. I think it's a great looking guitar. I think the balance of it looks great and everything. But I just can't get on board with that neck through design. So
You're not happy with what you're not happy with. At the end of the day, guitars have got to You go to jail with a guitar for it to be
Yeah.
worth playing.
I'm
in your
absolutely
mind.
not saying I'm right.
No, of
I'm
course
right
not.
about whether or not I like something. But
Yeah.
it's just I can't find the one for me. So and I guess I'm now at the position where it's like, well, I see that I just wouldn't take the risk now of
Mhm.
buying a really expensive neck through guitar when I could buy a really expensive bolt on guitar, which I know I'm going to like. And I did see someone going on Facebook earlier saying, imagine in 2022 going for a guitar that has to have the neck bolted on to the body rather than just having one piece of wood. And it's like, oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Imagine in 2022 having to have one piece of wood with two wings glued onto the side of it to make it a full guitar. Like, it's still not one piece of wood.
Imagine having a guitar where you have to have the fretboard glued onto the neck.
Yeah,
Imagine a
completely.
guitar where you have to put the pickups into it.
I know, assholes.
These are all components of this, you piece of donkey shit.
So just finally, Dolly Parton vows to make a rock album if she gets inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think this is one more reason to encourage Dolly Parton's induction to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
100%. And
Make
if you
it
don't
happen.
stand Dolly Parton, you are not a guitar soul.
Make it
End
happen.
of.
Make it happen. I did see that, constantly talking about how great Dolly Parton is, that Dollywood, was it Dollywood? I'm sure it was Dollywood.
Mhm.
They now have a policy in place where they will pay for your education.
I think Dolly has been funding
Yeah.
books and stuff for low-income schools and that for a long time,
Now, if you work
especially
there,
young women.
now if you work there, they'll pay for your education. Your high level education. I don't mean like training on the job.
No, like college or university.
College education. And there's not a weird caveat with that. Like, you have to work here for 6 months. Like, immediately, we'll pay for your education.
Yeah.
Dolly is a saint. We don't deserve her. She's too good. She deserves to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because she's fucking awesome.
There's no other argument, is there, really?
Yeah, let's read her quote.
Cool. I was absolutely floored when I heard that. This is, her being taken aback by her nomination. I was absolutely floored when I heard that. I've never thought of myself as being rock and roll in any sense of the word, but I guess they judge it on the music and the influence certain songs I've had, and I guess I've had songs with other people in that realm, but I don't know how they judge that. I'm not expecting that I'll get in, but if I do, I'll immediately, next year, have to put out a great rock and roll album, which I've wanted to do for years, like a Linda Ronstadt or Heart kind of thing. So this may be just a god wink for me to go ahead and do that. It's just nice to be nominated. Fucking queen. Absolute queen.
Yeah.
I love watching interviews and stuff with Dolly Parton because she's always so gracious.
Yeah.
But she's also real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If she doesn't get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year,
I'm going to burn it down.
we're going to have to induct
Burn it
her
down.
into the honorary Guitar Souls.
Aye, absolutely. I think she's just been indicted anyway, so she's going to be number 5.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to give that to Dolly. I mean, actually, no, it's not true. It's not true because she's not an arsehole. She's not an arsehole. She's not a Steve Lukather.
She does, however, put a lot of people in their place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say in terms of just having brass cojones.
What do you guys think in the chat? Let us know. Should we give Dolly the nod? Will she appreciate it?
I'll be at work on
Or will she
Monday.
be an ungrateful bitch?
But if I come back and look at the chat and somebody has said anything bad about Dolly Parton, you will be banned. Just telling you.
Yeah.
Outright, you'll be banned from the internet forever.
Sweet. So yeah, Dolly Parton, we like her. She
We
should
stand.
be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for sure.
Yes.
Has she ever played any guitar and things? Oh no, I can think of her playing guitar. Yeah, she can totally. I've seen her playing guitars.
She's got a country background, man. There's no doubt she can play instruments.
Yeah, I mean, with her big fucking nails, her playing guitar. I have seen it. It does.
I thought you were going to say her big chebs. Jolene,
Yeah.
Jolene, Jolene, Jolene.
So what she is saying, she needs a St. Vincent signature model.
Potentially.
She does need a signature model, though. You know who could make it? This show is brought to you by our friends over at Ormsby Guitars. We want to remind you guys that there is still time to get involved in the upcoming Run 16 guitars. Those include these incredible hypes available in 5 new colours. That Dragon Burst is absolutely stunning. You can also get your hands on one of the Metal X's, again available in a range of finishes. My personal pick has to be these headless V's, absolutely outrageously cool. Imagine one of those in an 8-string, I absolutely love these. And finally, the Ando San signature model, available in 6, 7 and 8-string availability. Go and check them out at Ormsby's website right now. This show is also brought to you by our friends over at Rev Amplification, a one-stop shop for all of your tonal needs. Head on over to their website to check out their range of lunchbox amplifiers, both the D20 and G20, 20-watt amplifiers with built-in 2 notes torpedo technology so you can record direct into your computer.
If that doesn't suit, you can also check out one of their highly popular G2, 3 and 4 pedals, giving you that trademark rev tone in a stomp box. Incredible tones, I use these myself. And finally, you may notice in the back of these videos a Rev Generator 120, an absolute masterclass in modern electric guitar tones. Check it out at their site now.
So as always, a huge thanks to our friends and family over at both Ormsby Guitars and Rev Amplification.
Kings.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you very much for your love, kindness and support. It's awesome. Thank you guys for watching the show. If you have comments, please do write in to GsolesFanMail@gmail.com. Link is in the description of wherever you're listening to this.
Yours.
It does help. It gives us stuff to talk about, and we really do appreciate it. Get involved on the Discord server. If you need links, ask someone in the chat. Someone will give you a link. I can't seem to make a permanent link for it. I thought I had made a permanent link for it, and I have a video on YouTube talking about the Discord server, and evidently that link doesn't work anymore. So
That's weird.
they're always like timed invite links.
Right,
to
okay.
Discord.
Okay. So there's some sort of a...
Someone's getting. There must be a permanent link somewhere though, because like every now and again we will have like a random spammer join the server, and it's like, well, either someone in the Discord sent them a link to this, and I don't know why they'd do this, why they'd do that, or they found a link somewhere that still works. So
Strange.
we want you on the Discord server. Get involved.
Yes, please.
Give us news stories. Get involved in the chat. We love you very dearly. I'm going to rush off to Edinburgh now. Mike, until next week.
See you next week. Love yous. Be good.